Hey guys, this is Christian, and today we got the Porsche 911 Cabriolet 2021 edition. And yeah, getting into some of the specs on this, it's 112,000 MSRP. Doesn't have any options basically, so it's pretty base spec. Kind of gives you an idea of what we have here. It's got a twin turbo, it's got a Boxer 6-cylinder engine, and it has 379 horsepower, 331 torque, and this gets 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. MPG on this is not too bad. City is about 22 MPG, highway is about 24, 26, and then weight on this is about 3,500 pounds. And yeah, it's actually quite a lot. I know this is a base spec, but you'll see we actually have a lot in front of us. So getting onto the exterior, so here we got the wheels here, 19s in the front, 20s in the back, kind of just like a nice setup. So these are kind of just like the standard Porsche rims. They actually fit the car really nicely. They're 10-spoke wheels, and then right behind that we actually have like the gray brake calipers, and these are 4-piston monoblock brakes, and they're on the front and the back as well, and it actually brakes really nicely. And as well with the wheels as well, they're actually pretty thick too, even on the standard, again, 911 Cabriolet, and it actually just handles really nicely. So on the front side here, we got the LED headlights here. It kind of has like 4-zone, as you can see, kind of just lighting for the front. It actually lights up the front really nicely. Actually driving through these in the nighttime will do a really nice job. Again, it's kind of just like your iconic Porsche 911 lights. And then going right below that, kind of have your vents and all that, which kind of just go to the radiators on the right and left side. I want to give a quick mention here in the center is actually a fake vent, unfortunately, but it adds a nice touch and kind of just like cleans up the whole front bumper and all that. And then here in the center, kind of have your nice little Porsche logo and all that. Nice. I've always liked this. In my opinion, this has always been my favorite logo out of any of them, honestly, even the more exotic ones. It's just nice gold trim, the red and the black, and the little prancing horse. So to open up the trunk, you can actually open it from the inside, or you can also open it from the key. So just to show off the key real quick, so key on the key, kind of have the Porsche logo here at the top. You have your unlock, your lock, and then just to open up the front up here. So I'm gonna just pop that open real quick. That opens it up there. You don't lift it up, there is a little red lever here. Lift this up real quick, and then you have a bit of space here. So it's about 4.6 cubic feet of space. You do have a little net here, so you can store a little bit small stuff here, or as well on the right side, this, like, you could open that up as well too. And that kind of just gets me to the trunk challenge real quick. So now I'm in the front. As you can see, you probably won't be able to close this down on me. So if you got to store something really big up here, you probably can't. So it kind of just gives you a little bit of perspective. Though I'm actually sitting kind of nicely, honestly, if I needed to be here for a while, but yeah, you can't fit too much in here. So moving on to the back side, so here we got the LED tail light. As you can see here, kind of just like really nice, and it gives it like a new look compared to the previous one, where it, as you can see here, used to be more of like on the right side and the left side, just as like any standardized car would have it, but it's kind of like a swooshing kind of like tail light that we have here. And then right below that, you kind of have the Porsche logo here, which kind of just like really nice look. I've always liked, again, how this looks. Porsche has really good design in my opinion. And then we have the little 911 logo here, just a reminder on that. And then moving on down here, I do want to mention there used to be the older Porsches used to have like the really big blocks here, which is kind of just like, I guess, the standard like US thing in case you get into a collision, kind of just reduces cost and all that. So it's kind of cool that they're a lot smaller. And then right below that, final thing is kind of just like the dual exhaust tips on the right and left hand side. And then to open up the trunk, so there's actually no trunk back here, so it's actually the engine. So I want to just open that up real quick for you guys. So to open up the engine bay, there's actually a litof lever over here by the driver's side door. So kind of just like lift this up, and that opens this up pretty quickly. And as you can see here, there's actually not too much to have access to. Kind of just have your oil and your water, again, for your kind of just like for your front windshield. There's actually not too much, and again, this is kind of like the 3-liter engine as we saw there. And yeah, there isn't any storage back here really. But yeah, to close that up real quick, so it kind of just like pops it back in really quickly. And yeah, that moves actually pretty quickly, so you kind of want to be careful with that. And then once we're here, we can kind of go to the driver's side door. So kind of just have the door open already. So while we're here, kind of have like the gray interior as we have. You have all your window controls. You have a little bit of storage. And I do want to mention it's kind of like nice and like felted on the inside. It's probably like a basic kind of like polyester, but it just gives a nice touch and all that. This has like Bose surround system and all that. It does actually a really nice job for what it is, though you can upgrade it. And then you kind of have just kind of like your door controls up here. And then kind of just have like the standard kind of like this squishy plastic, so it's nothing too crazy. Again, this is a pretty basic 911. You can spec this out a lot more nicely. And then going on to the door sill, kind of just a reminder that you have a 911 Carrera there, Cabriolet to be specific. And then right above that, you kind of just have where you could open up the front, and then you can open up that thing that we mentioned again in the back. So right next to that, we have the driver seating controls. So you kind of have like your standard, your lumbar, and just adjusting your seat. And then this little thing here, it's kind of cool, kind of just like lets you extend it. So if you have longer feet, or you kind of want a little bit more support under your legs, you can actually extend it. Or of course, you can also just like put it back to normal. But yeah, it's a pretty cool feature. But yeah, at this point I kind of just get inside the car. So let me just walk in for you guys, kind of give you that usual kind of like walk in. Yeah, I'm kind of blabbing a bit right now. So getting inside, I'm not gonna go straight to the steering wheel. I actually wanna go to the rooftop so you can actually open it. So there is some little bit of controls here. So quickly just gonna open that up for you guys. So as you can see, the car's kind of like transforming as like any other convertible would, or like a transformer. That opens up and everything, as you can see, pretty cool. And then this can all be done up to about like 31 miles an hour, which is actually pretty high because I know some cars you have to be going at a much slower speed. Kind of just did this for a little bit better lighting for you guys and everything. So once inside here, we kind of have the steering wheel here as we have. So here in front of us, we have that great Porsche steering wheel. And again, with a Porsche emblem here in the center. It's a really nice touch. This wheel's on the smaller side, but it's a really nice size. I kind of like how these things here as well kind of like float. So you can actually see my finger maybe move around in the backside. Kind of have your paddle shifters and everything. You have your stalks and all that. And then right behind that, you kind of have like all your controls and all that, which is really cool. It's just, it kind of looks like a curved display, but it's actually like split into kind of like this left side, this right side, and then like the center kind of like actual physical part for the speedometer and all that. Kind of have like all your controls and all that. It's really easy to adjust, and you can actually like change the screens back there. So I can actually like put the G-force on the right side, or go to the maps and all that. I could put the trip and all that, the vehicle stuff. And then it's the same with the right side, so I can actually switch to this side. And then right now it kind of just shows our current position. It can go to like the limits, just to an empty screen. And yeah, really basic. I really like just how intuitive this is and all that. And then I do like this little diamond here. No, this doesn't give you diamond hands, but it kind of just like quickly just shows a map on the screen on the right side. So here on the center touchscreen, as you can see here, we kind of have like the radio and all that, kind of our media, as you can see on the left side. And as my hand gets closer, you see like more menu items pop up. So it kind of just has like a more of a cleaner look when you're actually not adjusting anything. And the left side again, so you have your navigation, your media, you have your phone, you have your car settings and all that. Kind of lets you change between the wet mode, driver's mode. And you can also configure it from here, though it kind of just gives you customization here. And on the right side as well, kind of the suspension if you want to go into normal or sport. And then here on the left side again, kind of have all your climate controls. You have more apps. You have your assistants, which is kind of like your driver's assist and all that. Your sound, in case you want to mess with the treble and kind of like the bass and all that. Your Bluetooth devices, and then you can kind of like set more of the actual car settings besides that. And then moving right below this, kind of have like this nice trim here. It's like plastic, kind of again reminds me of carbon fiber, but it's just more like a plastic trim. And then just to remind you again, this is a really basic 911, but it kind of just shows you what it comes with when you don't spec too many things out. So here on the left side, you kind of have like your two driver's modes, or there's also normal when you don't have these activated, but there is the wet mode, there's the sport mode. You kind of have your hazard lights here in the center. Turn that off real quick. You can turn off traction control, and as you can see here, you actually have to hold it down for a while so it actually turns off traction control. Kind of makes a little click, and the PCM is now turned off. It kind of like makes sure that you're actually really want to turn it off, because it is more of a hazard and you might crash and all that. So I don't recommend turning this off unless you are more of a track or more of an experienced driver. And then here on the right side, kind of again goes back to suspension. You want to firm it up or just have it more in the normal mode and all that. So here we kind of have your AC controls. You can actually set the dual climate control to different temperatures. You have your fan speed here in the center, and then you have more things on the left and right side. You have your volume control knob here, and then on the right side you kind of have your tuning knob if you have the radio. And then here in the center, kind of have your Prendo and all that. So really simple. Left side and the right side is just clean. There isn't any buttons. And then moving on a little lower, kind of have your cabriolet control. So as you can see here, you can actually open it up the top as we have it open, or you can also close it too. And then here it's kind of like the little wind divider thing at the back, so it doesn't kind of diffuses it and doesn't make too much noise. And then here, kind of cool thing, you can also have ventilated seats at 3 different levels. And then you also have vacant seats, which again is kind of just a heated seat, so 3 different settings. And then here in the center, you kind of have a cup holder here. You can also plop your phone here. Your phone will fit. So there's an iPhone 13 Pro Max my friend has, and it actually fits fine. You can also plop this out, and then you also have like another configurable one in case you want to fit more of a cup size thing. Though the only issue with the cup size holder, as you can see, my phone doesn't fit here. And then right behind your cup, so here you kind of have like your parking brake. And then I do want to mention, so there is actually only one cup holder, but you do have one on the passenger side. So if you go all the way over here, you can actually pop this open, and as you can see here, you can actually put your cup as well too. So you can actually have 2 Starbucks cups as well too. And then going here back to the center, you have your armrest here. To open that up, there isn't actually any controls on my side. You have to open it up from this side, and as you can see here, whoop, it kind of came down, but you can actually just plop your phone here. So just leave it there so you're not texting and driving. And then you do have a little bit back here. You have your SIM card, your SD card, and then you have 2 USB ports besides that. But yeah, closing this back up, I want to just show you the back seat. So real quick, let me just jump back there. So getting onto the back seats, again, this is a 2+2, so it's not really recommended to have adults in the back, but there's a little lever here. So you just like pull on this little string here. So I'm gonna do that for my side. Move this forward real quick. And then as you can see, it is already in my driver's side position. I'm gonna try to fit here. But as you can see, unless I have the top off, it's gonna be a little hard to get in for one thing already. Moving this back, this will definitely not fit, unfortunately. So I'm definitely gonna be sitting back here unless the driver's side position is moved forward. But assuming I somehow could fit, as you can see, my knee room is non-existent. So I probably can't even be seated here unless you have like really small kids, or honestly, I probably would only put like groceries back there. Even kids probably won't even fit comfortably, even like really small kids. So yeah. So I'm gonna do a quick launch for you guys. Right now I have it in sport mode, have the transmission on just more of a sporty mode. So the car sounds really nice. It might be a lot of wind noise there, but it just picks up pretty nicely, very easy to handle. Again, rear wheel drive, and there's like almost like no torque steer, so I really love how this handles. I really, again, just love how it is just like driving around the city. As for the driver's side portion of this car, so the car handles really nicely. Again, just the short wheelbase and everything, the car handles really nicely, it grips nicely. They're really fat tires and everything. Rear wheel drive on this, you can get an all-wheel drive in case you want a little bit more stability or you want a little bit of a harder launch, but it does a great job as it does right now. The transmission on this is, again, it's like probably the most talked about feature of this car. It just does a really nice job switching between gears. It just does it one after another and just like really smooth, and you don't even notice it, and it basically just cuts down on time as well too, especially when you're like racing and all that. The comfort in this car, it's what do you expect, again, out of a sports car, so it's not the softest thing. You can go, again, between the 2 modes, as I mentioned, so you go to a more sporty or more of a normal suspension setup. But I will say, again, it's a sports car, don't expect anything too soft, but it does a really nice job, especially in the sport mode. You do feel everything on the road, but it does always keep on the road. The steering in this car is really nice. Again, the short wheelbase, the fat tires and everything just does a really nice job with just how this car maneuvers. I think I really know why people love these cars, and probably even the Porsche 911 GT3 or the GT3 RS probably do even more amazing job at cornering and all that. But again, this as a basic 911 does a really nice job. Quickly mentioned before the review, I actually had to move the seat a little forward and I'm still really squished and really uncomfortable, but again, the review is kind of short for you guys. But yeah, getting into this other car drive is just really nice. The way this handles the short wheelbase, the power kind of just really nice. It gets delivered from the rear wheel drive, and you can get this with all-wheel drive configuration. The weight's in the back again because of the engine back there. You have a little bit of space in the front, not really too much. If you want to go golfing in this, I wish you luck, but I guess it's possible maybe if you have it like just like across this whole seat here, but it can be taken for that. This is really nice, I guess, like a touring vehicle, so it's just you and another person, maybe a little bit of like baggage, not too much. You can fit some stuff back there. And again, where I'm seated, again, I wouldn't recommend any adults back here. Even me right now, I'm really uncomfortable, and it's like I've only been here for like, again, for this review right now. But besides that, car drives really nice. I think that's like the big thing for this car. Again, if you're driving, you have like your really nice screen, your really nice like dash and all that. You have your touch screen, you have a little bit of space in the front again, and then if you want the convertible, you can get it like this. Though I'm more of a hardtop fan, and I think many people probably are, but yeah, it's really nice how it's set up. All right, guys, that completes the review again for the Porsche 911 Carrera Cabriolet 2021 edition, again in this nice silver with a gray interior. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys can like and subscribe, does honestly help me out a lot. We're about to hit 900 subscribers. Again, very thankful for each and one of you guys, and I'm always trying to comment to any of you guys want to leave me a little feedback or a little message, or just letting me know what I'm doing good or bad, as always. But again, thank you, and until next time.